Hi everyone. Today we are going to be talking about rhetorical synthesis. And like the screen says, it's about the introduction and identification of this question type. By that I mean that in this video, we will know what this question type is all about, what rhetorical synthesis is all about, and we'll also know how to identify this question type on the test. Let us go ahead and see a few very important details about this type. Alright, so the first bit is that the time that we should be taking in attempting this question type. It's going to be 30 seconds. So the time that we take to attempt this question type on the test should not exceed 30 seconds. This is the ideal time that we can spend on this type. This is a very easy question type. If you know your trick right, there is no way that you will require more than 30 seconds to attempt this question type. Alright, now what is this type? What do you really see in this particular question type? You will find some student notes that are being given in the place of a text. So generally, we get a text in all the questions for reading and writing section on the digital SAT, right? We get a small text and then we have a question, then options. For this type, we've got some bullet points, right? So these bullet points are basically the notes made by a student while researching on a particular topic. Now, what are we supposed to do in this question type? What is it that we are actually supposed to do? A goal will be given to us in the question stem. We will be asked to take up a goal and achieve it. Now, we have to make sure when we attempt this question type that we achieve that goal. Whatever has been asked for us to do, that goal needs to be achieved. There are certain repetitive goal types that we have seen on the question types, which are being released by College Board. We will be learning more about these goals in details later. Now, this question type might look lengthy. When you look at it first, you might feel like this is such a lengthy question. You might feel like you definitely can't attempt this question type in 30 seconds and you need more time to attempt this. But trust me, if you know the trick, like I said earlier, if you know your trick, you will definitely know how to attempt this question in 30 seconds. So to understand the trick, you'll have to see the strategy video. Right now we are just trying to understand what this question type is all about and how do you identify this question type on the test. Right? So very simple question type, looks lengthy, but it's the easiest one. Trust me on that. Now, some terms are very commonly used in the question stem over here. The most important part of this whole question type is the question stem, because the question stem will tell you what is it that you're exactly supposed to achieve as a goal, right? So the goals that are being given to us in this question type will be using certain terms, and they are very repetitive terms like I've mentioned earlier. So it's important that you know all these terms and you know exactly how those terms are being used. What is the purpose of those terms, right? Let's look at the next, reading the options thoroughly. So here, it's very important that you read the options thoroughly, because when we look at the strategy video, you'll know more about it in details. But for now, I'll just give you a short glimpse. In this question type, we will be reading the question stem to know what is it that we want to achieve. And then we will jump to our options to identify the answer, right? We will not go to the bulleted points. We will try and not go to them and read them at all. So it's very important that you read your options thoroughly while you're trying to eliminate your options, correct? Now, let's see how this question type really looks like. Now, this is a question, rhetorical synthesis question that's been released by College Board. Now, let's just understand the structure of this. Now, this particular sentence, which says, while researching a topic, a student has taken the following notes. This almost always stays the same. This never changes, right? And like I had already mentioned, this is basically some notes taken by the student on a particular topic, right? So these are the bulleted points. You don't really have a text over here. You have bulleted points. Now, after this, you have the question stem. The question stem is going to be divided into two parts. The first part of the question stem will tell you what is the goal that you have to achieve. The second part of the question stem will tell you Again, that you have to accomplish this goal, but what is that goal will be told to us in the first part of the question stem. Now, the first part of the question stem, that is basically this information, this keeps changing, right? This will not really stay the same always. Like, for example, in this case, it says that the student wants to present the primary aim of the research study. So what is it that the student wants to do? The student wants to present the primary aim of a research study. Correct? Now, this will keep changing. In this case, it's about presenting the primary aim. Some other question will say that the student wants to present the finding of a study, or the student wants to introduce a particular topic. It can keep changing, right? The only thing that doesn't change in the question stem is the second part of this question stem, which says which choice most effectively uses relevant information from the notes to accomplish this goal. Right? So this part of the question stem is simply telling me that, you know what, refer to the notes and tell us how can we accomplish the goal that's been told to us in the first part of the question stem, right? Now, in this question stem, we know two things, right? What is it that the student wants to do, right? In this case, it's basically the student wants to present the primary aim of research, and how can you accomplish this goal? So as per the question stem, you have to go to the bulleted points, right? But that is what we are trying to avoid. We are trying to avoid to go to the bulleted points, read everything first, and then go to the options. We directly want to go to the options, right? And how all of this is going to work out, we'll see that in the strategy video. For now, just understand the structure of the question type, this particular question type. You will have something like this statement always, and then some bulleted points. Then you have a question stem which is divided into two parts. The first part will always tell you the goal that you have to achieve. The second part will always remain the same, right? So it's always going to be the same, only the first part keeps changing. And then you have the options like you always have. Right? This is an ideal structure of this question type. Now, this is all that I want to tell you in this particular video. You have to follow the next video of strategy. You have to follow the next video to understand the strategy that you can use for this question type. Right? So see you there. Thank you.